Alright guys, welcome back. Josh Wright here, and I'm going to show you today how I use the Gua Sha Tool on my forearms. The reason I feel the need to use it on myself today is because over the past several days I've been doing a lot of pitches, softball pitches to my girls and their team, and so I'm getting a lot of tightness. Well, actually, I would say more. It doesn't necessarily feel tight. I got good range, but the stretches aren't quite cutting it, and there's just a soreness in there that I would just like gone. I work with my hands all day. I don't like that tightness. Is it pain? No, but it annoys me. So I'm going to use the Gua Sha tool to help loosen those deeper muscles up, so that way when I'm working, I'm not having to think about, dang, my forearms, my hands feel tight. So I'm going to show you how I do that. All right, so here we go. I use just a coconut oil and then just a stick-on sickle-shaped tool. So what I'm going to do is just put that coconut oil on, give me a lubricant, and then I'm going to start off nice and light, kind of using the stick-on tool, the Gua Sha tool, as kind of a rake. A shovel, whatever you want to call it. And I'm kind of, just as I go lightly, I'm just feeling for some of the areas that are a little bit uncomfortable. And so as I'm just kind of scanning here, feeling certain things, I can feel right through here, that little stretch, and then right up top. So what I'm going to do is just gradually increase pressure, focusing on those areas. I can check out the other directions. I'm going in a scooping motion, one direction, and then I can turn the tool the other way and go the other direction. I'm going to just keep working those areas. And so right through here is the biggie. So that's where I'm going to spend the next several strokes really concentrating on. And you should be able to see this, but there's some redness, especially right through, the whole thing's red, but right through there, getting some of that petechiae right along those tendons. Petechiae is the fancy name for the hickey. You want to give yourself a hickey? Get a Gua Sha tool. So I'm going to work this area here until a good bit of that discomfort has dissipated. That's how I know it's done. Because initially, as I use that increased pressure, it's got a good bit of bite to it. But once that initial bite really wears off, I'm going to move on to the next thing. So the bite through here, pretty much gone. I'm still getting right here on the inside of the forearm. I'm still getting a good bite. So I'm going to work that area some more. Sometimes it takes more, sometimes it takes less. So right now it's really starting to dissipate in intensity of that discomfort. So I know I could be about done with that. The other area that I was really feeling is right up through here, near that lateral epicondyle. All those muscles that attach into that area. So I'll quickly kind of scan again, going lightly, looking for the areas. And so it's kind of right through there, right through here, right through there. And this doesn't have as much bite as the inside of the forearm. So same idea, still using it kind of at an angle in a scooping motion. Gonna wait, keep working the area until most of the discomfort has really dissipated. And as I increase pressure, you notice I'm concentrating more right here because that's actually where, as I increase pressure, there's more discomfort. So I know I gotta work that area. Right now today, I would say I'm using this technique on myself as more of a maintenance. like I said, I didn't really have any pain in the forearm. It was just sore. Kind of like a post-workout soreness from throwing all those softballs for the softball team. Starting to get a little bit of that petechiae right through there. On me, that petechiae usually lasts barely a day. And then it just goes away. So that area right in there is done. So the next area I'm going to work right through here. Those muscles that kind of control the outside of the hand and wrist. First going to start off kind of scanning that outside of the forearm. Feeling for those areas. Nothing too major over there. Check a little lower. And there's maybe a little bit right through there, kind of a little knot. So I will concentrate my efforts on that little knot. Increasing pressure as tolerated. As I go a little deeper, starting to get a little bit of that petechiae right in there. And now, for the most part, a good bit of that bite has dissipated. And done. Let's see. So now we're going to get to check the very inside of the forearm. So the muscles, a lot of the muscles that connect to the medial epicondyle. Funny bone right there, even though it's nerve. Starting off light, scanning it, seeing kind of where most of the bite is. And I'd say right through there is where most of the bite is. Not bad though. But that, even when I hit here, I can feel it tingle in these two fingers. And that is because there's a nerve that goes right through there. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's pretty crunchy. That is not uncommon with muscles. They are not perfectly smooth. And a lot of times when you do have an area that is tender or painful or tight, you just find that seems a little bit more gristly. If I alter the position of my hand, so when my hand is like this, it's putting those muscles on slack, and I can't quite get as much concentrated pressure there. But if I bend my hand back, put those muscles on a stretch, I can feel that quite a bit more in there, which I like. So now I've went through, I'm starting to see the petechiae, but again, I'm not really gauging it necessarily on if I get the petechiae or not. I'm gauging it off that area when a good bit of that discomfort has dissipated. That's when I know I'm done with that area. Well, I'd say that area needed it. It's almost making me sweat. I just find that using this tool on my body on areas that are tight or feel sore is just way more effective than stretching. It has much longer lasting effects. So now a good bit of that discomfort has dissipated. So I know I can be done. So that was the quick and dirty of what I will use, how I will use a gua sha tool on my forearm to help with that soreness. And like right now, if I were to describe how my forearm feels before and after, so first with the stretch, when I go to stretch, either direction, I almost don't even feel the stretch now. Whereas before I could feel the pull, like here on my flexors, I could feel it stretch. And then when I would go down, I could feel the stretch on my extensors. But now when I do it, I pretty much don't feel a stretch. That is a good sign that these tissues, these muscles have been warmed up and their tissue mobility is better. And so how it just feels like right now, right to left, this right side feels like it can breathe better and feels lighter than my left side. And that is just from blood flow. Blood flow is just good. So there's how I use the gua sha tool on my forearms, or at least one of my forearms, and that's it. And so what I've shown you here is how I use a gua sha tool on maintenance, basically athletic maintenance for my forearms. I will do this on other parts of my body as well. My forearms are not the only place, but this is just kind of one of my go-to tools. Not the only tool I use, but one of my go-to things that I use to keep my body going, to prevent injury, to improve performance, and to be able to do the things that I love to do. So I hope this helps you out.